We promised that we would replay during the course of these concerts the pieces that we'd planned to play in the original concert that was cancelled, and Hymn for Freedom was one of those. Now to the big band era that dominated the musical scene from about the early 1900s to the 1940s. A big band typically was a big band. It had at least a dozen players, consisting of trombones, trumpets, saxophones, and a percussion section, rhythm section. The music they played was quite different from the jazz in the jazz era that had preceded the big band era, because whereas jazz featured solos and improvisation, the big bands featured sections of instruments together and written music. So that gave a much greater influence to the arrangers and the band leaders. And our next piece of music contains some of the best of those band leaders and arrangers. We include Benny Goodman, Stan Kenton, Glenn Miller, and Woody Herman. Now, in 1986, we were fortunate to have strong sections of trumpets, trombones, saxes, and in percussion, we had someone who'd been with us since day one, and returned to us throughout the time whenever he was needed. That was Dr. Jerry Johnson, who's a prominent cancer research worker. This video has lots of close-ups. It wasn't taken by a musician, I can tell, because the picture will often focus on the saxes when they're doing nothing, and the trumpets are actually playing away, and vice versa. But anyway, it's interesting to see the individuals, even if they're not the star of that particular part of the show. But also it does concentrate on percussion, particularly towards the end of the piece. So I'd like you to keep your eye on Jerry Johnson, the percussionist, as we get to the end of this piece of music. So here is music from the big band era, including Stomping at the Savoy, Here's That Rainy Day, In the Mood, and Woodchopper's Ball. Here's a salute to the big band era.